Hello, this is Panzeline from POCGamer, and this is day 8 of the 30-day Dungeons & Dragons challenge that I've been doing, as I continue to vlog my way through answering 30 questions about Dungeons & Dragons based on my experience and thoughts. So, today's question is, what is my favorite character that I have played? Okay. So there are anybody who's played Dungeons and Dragons for any length of time, there are a lot of characters that they have played. Some favorites, some not so favorites, all that sort of thing. And wow, like it can be a very loaded question because when you're playing the game, going on adventures, all that sort of stuff, you really build up a lot of affinity and a lot of appreciation for different characters as you use them. And generally, no two characters are the same. I mean, even if you're playing the same combination of, playable race, playable class, you've selected the same abilities, skills, everything else, nothing is ever quite the same because you go through things slightly different ways. Or, maybe you're adventuring with different people and, they do things a different way. Or, you encounter new monsters or new whatever. And it forces you to do things that you never would have considered previously with that character. So, with all of that in mind, I would say that I don't have one single favorite character. I have two favorite characters. My first favorite character, his name was Voxel, and he was a half-elf. Was he a half-elf? Yes, he was. Yep, see, it's been that long since I played him. The memory is almost foggy, except for all the awesome stuff that I did playing as that character. But yeah, his name was Voxel, and he was a half-elf fighter. It was in the Forgotten Realms campaign setting. It was 3.5. Dungeons and Dragons, and he was from, where was he from? I think he was from Tashalar, and yeah, he was like a certifiable badass, like a lot of fun to play. Knew no fear. Like, I have never made so many checks in my life to not be afraid of things as I did with this character, and just like achieving the impossible routinely, like not like watching the DM roll stuff and somehow not dying. He was armed with a full blade, which was a ridiculously huge sword. That like I literally had to like sit down and figure out like a manual at arms with this thing to justify how I would use it in close confines and other stuff like that. He had one of those like spring-loaded gauntlets that like shot a crossbow bolt out, so he'd be like, crossbow bolt to the face, that sort of thing. Really great character. Insane amount of fun to play. He worshipped Cord, the god of strength, and his strength, I think when I finished playing, his strength was like 20 or 21 or something like that. It was absurd. And his best friend was a dwarf, who was also a fighter, who also worshipped Cord. And we just like, our characters fed on each other for in-jokes and craziness and all sorts of stuff like that. Like, everything they did together, until the guy playing that character had to leave because of work, unfortunately. It was fantastic. I want to dig that character out now. Figure out where I've got the character sheet around here somewhere, and I really want to check him out. So that's my favorite, like, not magical character, which gives you a hint about the next one. And the next one is, unsurprisingly, another half elf, and his name was Gates. And Gates was a lightning mage. That is the only way to describe it. It was second edition. We had the book that gave instructions on how to build your own spells for each level. And I really, really liked that. Like, the idea that I could make my own spells and do my own thing. And I ran with it and created this nightmarish lightning mage, where like everyone else, like, oh, I've got access to third level spells. I'm gonna take fireball. Like, no, I'm taking lightning bolt. And now that I have lightning bolt, that is my raison d'être, and I just ran with it. By the time that character retired, I believe I was up to 7th level magic spells with him, and like he could wipe out huge units. Like you had to come equipped to fight electricity to have a chance against him, and not a lot of our enemies did, because very few of them actually survived. There was like sort of a flash of light and then dust, or a slight burning smell, then dust. Like chain lightning, ball lightning, ground lightning. That was cool. And I came, it was before the had incredible access to the internet, so the idea of lightning coming up from the ground through something was something I thought I'd invented. I had not. It is in fact a real thing. And yeah, just all sorts of cool stuff like that. And it was like he fought, like we had a lot of issues with ogres and trolls and stuff in that game, and it worked out well, him having all those lightning spells. Had a few really cool magical items. A lot of force spells, like spells using force, were his secondary thing. So things like mage armor and magic missiles, stuff like that. And I sort of dabbled around in those too, but yeah, that was he would be my favorite magical character, just because there was so much that I got to do and experiment with using that character. And not everything was successful. Some things did not work at all as I'd hoped or planned. But that was fine. It was just part of the experience of playing that character and what made him memorable. And yeah, just, to walk out, and there's lightning crackling all around him. He's got his staff and all that. And, our enemy's like, hey, what are you going to do? It's like, I'm going to cook all of you with electricity. That's how today ends. And, they'd laugh, I'd laugh, lightning would fly, then it would just be, my character laughing, because they were all dead. It's hilarious. And if memory serves me correctly, what campaign, I believe that was Greyhawk. I think that was a Greyhawk setting character, because I don't remember the regular Forgotten Realms stuff that we played to using, so I believe that was when we were playing around, because my buddy really liked Greyhawk, the DM that we had at the time. And so, yeah, he was into that whole Greyhawk thing. So, yeah, that would be my favorite character for that. And it actually works out well, because then it's favorite edition, favorite character in each edition. Second edition Gates, third 3.5 Voxel, nothing in fourth because I hated that edition. Nothing in first because I didn't play it enough. One afternoon is not enough to have a favorite character. I can't even remember that character's name. And fifth edition, again, haven't had an epic enough adventure to have a favorite character. So there we go. Very unintentionally answering it by edition. Apparently I set a standard in my head that I didn't even know about. So that's cool. All right, so that's it. Tomorrow's vlogs are going to be tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday's vlogs are going to be interesting, because I am not going to be at home. I am in fact going to be in Victoria, doing some stuff for work. So I'm going to be trying to do this either on my laptop or on my Android phone. So we will see how that goes. Regardless, there will be vlogs coming out, and I will see you later. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my blog at POCGamer.com.